Hi everyone, welcome to ASJ Writes the Conversation, and with me I have Nathaniel Ogochukwu, cinematographer, filmmaker, CEO of NateGenius Films, and the beautiful Ogochukwu Erilim. She is the CEO of Limo Fitness and the video cafe where we're shooting right now. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, first question we're going to deal with is what was your general take on the article? And I'm going to go with you first, Limo. What do you think about the article?
A few things hit for me. So like I was very excited because for me, sometimes you're not as expressive as you want to be, and when you read things like that, you're just like, yes, this person is reading your mind, and that's just what the article was, and I was actually very excited about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nate. I'm honored to hear that. Nate, so what was your general take on the article?
For me, I thought it was brilliant. I thought that raising such topics are not very. You don't see that a lot in this time. So I thought that was something really good to talk about. Knowing that I've got sisters, I've got a mother, and I've seen how society have dealt with them in certain areas of life. So I felt like, why not? It's a beautiful one, so let's talk about it.
Thank you so much, Nate. Thank you so much. And to everyone that had very positive things to send to me and to say about the article, I appreciate you all. The next question I'd ask is that in all the segments of the article, Limo, this goes to you first. What stood out the most for you with all the points that were made in the article? What stood out the most for you?
Okay, so I would say basically the one about women being successful.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a 27-year-old and I work very hard. Very, very hard. I feel like there's no time that I'm not working. So I feel like with how society views the woman, basically it means that you need like a man's help, or you might have done something extra or otherwise to like get to where you need to be. When women, are judged for that, for me it hurts because like, I mean, this place, I know how much sweat, how much work that was put into it. I'm not saying people haven't put more into other businesses or anything like that, but for it to turn into what it is now, I know how much it took from me. So for me, it's like, I appreciate all of that, and I know that it didn't have to do with me sacrificing anything that was personal.
Thank you so much, Limo, for that.
No problem.
Nate, so I would say in the whole entire article, what stood out most for you?
I think what stood out for me was when you said something about women are seen lesser than men in the society. So, in the creation, beginning of time, God created the heavens and the earth, right? And then he created man out of his image. And then he saw that man was lonely, and he created a woman, right? So he created a woman out of man. So from the ribs of a man, he created a woman. And he now said, fast forward to Ephesians 5:21.
So I'm going to use the New Living Translation. Ephesians 5 we're going to start with verse 21. And it says, and further submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Then 22 says, for wives, this means submit to your husbands as to the Lord, like what Nate said. For a husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church. So that is this biblical scripture backing Nathaniel's argument.
Right.
So I would say, like, from the creation of time, from the beginning, it's always been like the woman comes after the man. Typical example: if you're about to get married, you don't go to the man's family and say, I've seen a flower in your compound and I want to pluck.
Okay.
It's the man that would propose to you. The society, seeing that it's just the world is being created, it's centered around a man and a woman and the universe, right? So automatically they go with the notion that, okay, this is what we know, So in every aspect of life, everything they do, they apply it to every area. Say, okay, the man is the head, so we see the woman as lesser.
Right.
Not in a bad way, but that is just how it is. So, but some people take it further and become abusive to it. So some people see it that way, and that is the old-fashioned way, because that is what they read from the Bible.
Right.
So, but they read it out of context.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nate, for that insight.
And that's why it's very important to actually involve God. You're getting married, when you're, having a partner and all that, because you need him to direct you to be with the right person. So I can say that now a woman being created from him, do you understand? Remember, a woman is created to be a helper. That means you're not perfect. It means the woman that has been created to be in your life is to make you the better and the best version of who you are.
Yes.
So if I'm created to help you become the best version of who you are, should I be less or seen less than you? God created man, created woman. Do you understand? Man, God of everything, kingdom, everything. Do you understand? And created woman because he said, oh, it's not good for man to be alone.
He needs a pillar. Like,
Right.
He needed a pillar.
Now, if woman is existing in his life, that means there is a purpose for that woman to exist in your life.
Of course. Have you heard when people say, this person completes me? So it might be like a physical thing, but it's also a spiritual thing.
Right. So, are you complete?
No, everyone is still in it.
Okay, but you have sisters,
journey.
right?
I have sisters. Yeah.
Do you have a brother?
Yeah, I have a brother.
Okay, are you complete?
I wouldn't say I'm complete until.
Thank you.
Okay, so can I say...
But we're never really satisfied, are we?
No, but that's the thing, and that's why I told you guys in the beginning that you must have God to find that woman who completes you.
Okay, so can I say something, please? So we can wrap up this conversation, if not, because this is like a whole new conversation. So we're going to do another one on marriage specifically.
I'm just saying,
because this we're delving into marriage and finding, how do you have to be completing yourself before you find a partner and stuff. So I understand where Nate is coming from. The next question we're going to talk about: what is your take on successful women in Nigeria, and how do you think a woman can be successful without compromising herself in Nigeria?
So the norm now is that a lot of women think that selling their bodies and doing all that nonsense gets them to a higher level, right? So they tend to use like different social media platforms to sell their markets, right? As we all know. And then they get to a stage where they start to sell us lies, saying hard work pays, I just bought a new Range Rover, hard work, all that bullshit, right? And then so it's very difficult answering that question, because this is what I've been seeing for a very long time, right? In the past, like almost a decade now, right? This is what I have seen. Like it's like runs, girls, or whatever they call them, like women doing stuff and looking sugar daddies, baby, just all that nonsense, just to get money for clout and all that stuff, right? So I don't really see a lot of successful women, right? Apart from like a very few numbers that I have this. So I have this ratio, this percentage. I say that there's like 20% of organic, real successful women in Nigeria. Maybe 80% are 80% are like doing the easy way and the quick way to attaining success. I have so I'll come use you as an example. So Limo Dennis is my friend. She's been my friend for 4 years now. We've been friends for it's my G for life, and I've seen her grow from one stage. I knew when Limo started to when she had a vision, when she knew what she was going to do, and when she said she was going to do this and do that, and like she's just like literally going in that track to achieving everything she's put on her books.
Yes.
Right? So I've seen her being successful in her field, and knowing exactly what she wants to do, and going in that plan and that direction, and attaining success gradually, right? So a man of God once said that if you jump up, you fall down, but if you grow up, you stay up, right? So I've seen her grow up, right? And you cannot. The only other way to go is to go higher. Because there's no other way to go down. There's no loophole to go down. There's no hole there. But like obviously if you jump up, there's a hole deep down that you go back down.
Yes.
So like a lot of these other people like that rush to attain success is they jump up quickly, and when there's no other means, they fall back down, start from the beginning.
Yes.
But with this, when there's no other means, you just talk for a bit, and then you create another strategy, and
So the worst case is stagnancy.
There are people who are struggling, and they are working hard. I can't say that I'm the most hardworking person, but I know I'm hardworking. But I know that there are other women who are more hardworking, who are trying their best every day. Now there are these slay mamas, the other women who people feel like they have it a bit easier, maybe they're not. But then what if they have the same drive, and their drive leads them to people who can provide these finances that can make their dreams come true?
So there are some women that feel like their only option is to get some kind of support from a man, right? But they are good at what they do. Does that invalidate the hard work they now put into growing an actual business just because they got their backing from a man? And apart from that, what else does a woman have to do to be successful in a situation like Nigeria, where most times men ask you, come and sleep with me or stuff like that? What other option? How else can a woman be successful apart from family wealth or or making those little compromises?
So first of all, I think that so going back to the old saying where they say what a man can do, a woman can do better, right? Women say that thing a lot.
I didn't say it, Sha. Disclaimer.
If you think that sleeping with a man would be your gateway to success, then you're a fool. I'm sorry, because why would you put your hope on a man? If you're lazy, read books on laziness. Read books on becoming successful. Read books on just train yourself. Like, you don't have to sleep with any man you don't have to let any man dictate your growing and your successful life or whatever, right? So so I would say that, like, if you feel like I've tried and I have no other way to go, I'd have to start doing runs, meeting different guys that have money as the head, they have money. That is your own mentality now. Or like, these guys have money, they are the head, they are the gods, they are the mini gods, so they have money. Let me try and go under the umbrella and try to take some of these funds and start my own business under them. Then I mean, you're not an alpha woman, you're not a smart woman. If you feel like that is your source of creating wealth, then you're not an innovative person, right? As going back to what I said from the first time, what a man can do, a woman can do better. If you feel a woman can do better, then why don't you go back to your drawing board and create something for yourself? And like I've given examples of some of my friends. I have Limo here, I have Anari here, which is doing stuff. She has her business going and she's been working hard, and she has this, we're in her show now, and she's still working towards that goal that she set for herself. If you're not thinking in that line, I'm sorry to say, what success are you building? What success are you trying to grow? You'd have to grow a success. It's like putting a brick one at a time, and then you now have a wall.
Okay.
So you have to build it yourself. Like, you can have support. You can have support from people, even from your boyfriends, from men, but not to go under that notion of I have to now sleep with different men before I can have money to grow success.
Okay.
How then you grow a successful business?
In Nigeria, when men are literally approaching you for sexual offers, so how do you navigate through it?
relating to what I said before, you now sit down and, okay, I've had friends that have told me before that they're tired, they've been to interviews, and every time they've gone to an interview, the interview goes really well, and then in the end, the man will be like, oh, I think you've gotten this job,
Regardless
of everything, you should come meet me at this hotel on Saturday. So they've told me about stuff like that. Like they get to that stage and they'll be like, oh, they don't want to do this anymore. Then they back out. So they go for another interview, the same thing. They go to like 10 interviews, the same thing. So now applying to what I said before, why don't you now sit back and say, what a man can do, a woman can do better. So you said, okay, let me start a business, right? What does it take to start a business? Let me read about business, right? I study about business. Okay, what kind of business do I want to study about? Do I want to start? Let me study about that business. I read about that business, I know that business, and then I start. How do you start a business? Let me read about business structure. You start a business, you gradually, you face the same challenges that every other business person faced. I faced crazy, countless challenges. You face the same challenges as a man would face. You know, the man that you're looking to go and get money from because to start your own business, you face the same challenges and you grow a business and you're on that level now where you and the man can sit down and talk. What are you talking about?
I'm a very hardworking woman. I don't need a man. Everything, like I always tell people, there's nothing a man can give me that I can't do for myself. And that's honesty. Because I work literally very hard. Do you understand? Now, whatever the case may be, do you understand? Maybe there's a man in my life and I want it to be that they're providing value. They're being the man that they should be to a woman like me. Do you understand? Because I don't believe that all humans are created equal. Do you understand? That's why you have some women who can take care of their families and provide.
So, women who can take care of their family?
Yes. There's some women who their husbands have died and they didn't remarry.
True, I agree.
And they have provided and taken care
Alpha
in
female.
the best that they
alpha female.
right, in the best that they could have done.
Macaron skills.
Do you understand? And they didn't have to sleep with a man.
That's another aspect.
See, they didn't have to sleep with a man, but they took they took everything in, with society, with every obstacle to actually push through. So I can agree to some things that you said. Do you understand? Some women are easily or can be easy to give in because they feel it's all about money. It's all about the superficial things that you can see. But there's some women that don't think so. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm speaking from experience.
Thank you everyone for joining us at the review of Woman Not Slave. As we discussed, a woman is not supposed to be seen as less than a man, but as a support. She's supposed to be seen as what makes a man complete. She's the good thing that completes a man. And this does not only reflect in marriage, it reflects in your relationships with your mother, your sister, your female friends. Do you understand? If God says that it was not good for man to be alone, and so he created a woman. So there's a purpose with every woman, every good woman that is around you. She has a purpose and she has a blessing for you. And when we also discussed about, the chances of a woman being successful in Nigeria without having to compromise herself. We also saw that there's an angle where there's some women that don't have alternative options and they felt like the only option was to probably compromise a bit or date somebody to get capital. This is also seen not only in Nigeria but internationally. Coco Chanel's first shop was also built by her boyfriend, who was a married man, and she went through her career never being married, never having children, and she had a lot of influential male relationships. Does that invalidate the fact that she is the Coco Chanel now that every woman, every man craves to have in their wardrobe? It doesn't invalidate that. But is that the best option to go? No, it's the easier option, but not the best option. The Bible gives us ground for what is moral. Spirituality, I would say, gives us ground for what is moral. God has blessed us with gifts in our minds and in our hands. That's our mental skills and our creative skills. And we can tap into that, search ourselves and find out the value we can bring to society. don't look down on education. Education has brought, has opened doors for me. I was in uni and I could have done, modeling straight off. There's nothing wrong with doing modeling. But for me personally, the breakthrough I had was the fact that I obeyed my parents and went on to study my other passion, which was law. And then I became a lawyer. And that's, being a lawyer opened doors for me. And it gave me the job which served as capital to fund all these other things like fashion and writing that I'm passionate about. So there are things that you can do with your hands and your mind, and also educating yourself and informing yourself, that can also pave the way for you. But then those that didn't know better, or didn't have the options, or felt like it was too late for them, and then they had to make compromising situations, we do not judge you, we love you, but master what you are good at, and do not rely on selling your sexuality, to boost yourself. I would say that, the fact that a woman makes money or she's hardworking does not mean that she can never be a loving wife or a loving mother. A woman is very well capable of working and being a loving wife and being a loving mother. The Bible gives us this woman in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10 to 31. Thank you all for walking this journey with me. There's so much to say about this, but I love you all, and I hope you continue walking this journey with me as we discover more.